I've got a Jaguar X-Type and I'm going to replace the cabin filter or pollen filter and the air filter. I bought these off eBay for about £10 each, which I think is a pretty good price. I'm not sure how many people have got Jaguar X-Types anymore, but this might be a useful guide for some other Jaguars, maybe some other cars, maybe give you the confidence to replace the filters on your own car. So we're going to open the boot. No, it's not the boot, is it? It's the bonnet. That's a good start. Right, open the bonnet. The first one we're going to replace is the pollen filter because it's the easiest to replace. Open the bonnet. Right, so the cabin filter is actually behind this here, and to get it out, I've got these little tiny, I don't know what you'd call them really, plugs. So you just lift up the middle bit and then they come out like that. So we need to do that for 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to do that for 5 of these. Right, I've done that, and now I've got to take this off. This just slides off like that. So I'll put it down on the floor next to this conveniently placed rubbish. Now this should just lift up. Yep, lifts up and it reveals the old cabin filter in there, and you can see there's some leaves and things. So I'm just going to take this out. I'm just going to sort of grab it like that and yank it out. Now actually this one I bought was a Ford, this was actually for a Ford Mondeo, because I know that some of the parts, about 10% of the parts or something on a Jaguar X-Type are compatible with the Mondeo, but actually this didn't fit in quite well actually. So this one is a genuine Jaguar part, which I'm hoping will fit a lot better. I've just cleaned out some of the sort of seeds and leaves and things in there just by scraping them out with my hand. So now we're going to open this one. Here it is, and hopefully you can see that there are sort of grey bits in this filter. That's actually because this is a carbon filter, which means that it's better at filtering out particulates and particularly smells. If it doesn't have this sort of grey effect, then you're not going to get as good air filtering in your car. Now it says airflow that way on this, which means that it has to go in like that. The air is going to flow in that direction. So I'm going to try and lift this up and basically just fit this in. It only took a couple of seconds to sort of maneuver it in. You have to kind of just use your brain really and sort of push it in the right way. And now you can see that I can just sort of gently work it into the receptacle for it. It just sort of fits in like that. I'm going to push it in. Hopefully you can see this all right. Unlike the other, the Ford part that I had previously, this actually fits in really snugly. So that's it. Basically, I just put this down again and put this metal thing back on here and put the clips back in. Just looking at the old cabin filter here, it's got all sort of bits of stuff, leaves and fur and things and feathers between these fins. It just looks generally, there's even a stone in it. Oh, that's come from the ground, doesn't it? This is generally just a lot dirtier than the one I've just put in. And I generally replace these once a year. You know, they only cost about £10, so why wouldn't you get fresh air in your cabin? So that's it, that's the cabin filter done. Right, next up we're going to replace the air filter, and to do that we need to remove all the screws in this thing here. Unfortunately, some of them are covered by this great big plastic engine cover thing, so we've got to take that off first. So to do that, I'm going to have to take the dipstick out, and I should have brought some paper towel with me actually, because this is going to just drip everywhere. So I'm going to have to rest this carefully and delicately on the ground and hope that it doesn't pick up a load of shit that it puts in the engine. And then this just sort of lifts up like this, pry it off there, that's it, it's off, put that on the ground. And now using a Phillips screwdriver, I need to remove these 2 screws, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, and this one. There we go. So I've undone all of these screws. I haven't taken these ones out completely, but they're still secure in their screw threads. If you lift it up like that, you can see the air filter down there, which is a little bit dirty. It's been in there a year. As I said, I replace the filters once a year. So let's just lift this out. Trying to do it while holding an iPhone, not the best idea, but we'll give it a go. So we've taken that out like that. It's pretty clean in there, which is pretty good. So I'll just go and get the other one and we'll pop that in there. When you view it from the side like this, you can actually see the sort of dirt and crap that's just sort of collected in there. So it does need replacing. You do want your car to get good clean air for combustion. So here's the lovely fresh air filter. You see them side by side. The new one is a lot cleaner. So let's go and put that in now. Okay, so I've rested it in. There's a little lip around the edge. Basically, when you push it down, it should feel sort of firm. It shouldn't move around. That's it. Oh, I've already got it dirty. Look at that. Right, so that's nice. That's in. So now we just got to do the reverse procedure and put all these screws back in and tighten them up again. And what I tend to do is put the screws in most of the way, but don't tighten them up completely, and I do that for all the screws so that it's kind of balanced, if you know what I mean. So I'm not kind of tightening one side a lot and then not tightening another side at all, which could, I guess, bend and potentially crack the plastic. So now I'm just going to go ahead and tighten all of these screws properly. Right, that's all the screws in and tight. So now it's time to put this engine cover back on. So we're just going to sort of balance it on there like that, and then we have to feed this thing, feed the dipstick tube through this hole. That's the kind of hardest part of this. I may have to do this unless it's gone in. That's all right, that's fine. Right, so that's gone in, and now we just have to basically clip it into place. So I've done that, and you can see this bit here, this kind of rubbery seal around there, isn't actually secured properly. This does come out a lot, and I've sometimes spent like half an hour trying to get it to be inside this engine cover. But, you know, it's not really worth it, because as soon as I then take it somewhere to get them to do an oil change or something, they take it out again. So I'm just going to leave it like that. This is secure on the engine. And now we've got the dipstick, which I've wiped on this piece of plastic, and also rather cleverly wiped it all over my hands, and I haven't got anything to clean my hands, so that's a bit of a pain. But now we just feed it back into the dipstick receptacle. There we go. And while we're here, so that's it, that's the two filters done. While we're here, we'll just check some of the fluids. So this is the coolant fluid, and you can see there's a minimum mark there. I don't know if you can see the levels or not in this. There's a minimum and a maximum level. Mine is fine. I check this a lot because I used to have a Rover 75 that lost all of its coolant, and that was a bit of a problem. This is, I don't know what this is. I think this might be brake fluid. I can't see it in there, so hopefully that's all right. I might have to check that another time. We've got obviously windscreen washer fluid. I've already done a oil test the other day, dipstick test. This, my brake fluid does actually leak occasionally, so I might have to check this. You should really do it when the engine isn't hot, and I don't know how hot the engine is, and I don't really want this to spray out all over my face. I suppose that could be good YouTube footage, but this is something to check as well. Shall I do it? Okay, I've loosened it. Right, we'll get out the way a bit so that it doesn't. It seems it's fine. It's fine. I wasn't scared at all. So we lift it out, and I can see actually that there's I don't know if you can see where it is on there. I think I've got slightly too much in there potentially, but certainly it hasn't leaked out since last time, so I don't even know why it leaked out before. The perils of having an old car, really, or a 2007 car. I suppose it's not that old. Right, that's done up nice and tight, so that's it. I hope this has been helpful to you. Cue a load of criticism from people who know what they're doing with cars, which is fair enough. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time for another video.